on this computer. Hey everyone, I'm so happy to have you all with me on our new RockStars on the Rise workshop. This is series number 1. We're going to talk a bit tonight about how you enrich lives and how you can make that happen. And you can enrich your own life too, right? So that's what we're all about. We want to help other people, and when we help other people, we help ourselves too. And so with that, I'd like to just kind of get to know each of you. Tell me a little bit about yourself, how long you've been doing Pampered Chef, and what you're most proud of. How does that sound? And since Meg was on the call first, we'll start with Meg.
All right. I am Meg Fulkerson. I just celebrated my 1 year with Pampered Chef, so I'm super excited about that. And what was the other question?
What are you most proud of? What accomplishment are you most proud of?
I am most proud of where I've taken my business in the last probably 6 months. I feel like I've achieved more than I thought that I ever had inside of me. And so I'm excited to see where I'm going to take it in the next 6 months.
Well, that's a lot to be proud of. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, this is just the tip of the iceberg, girl. I'm excited for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Cheryl, you were next on the call. How about you?
I joined in February of 21. So I'm getting closer to my 2 year with Pampered Chef. And I guess the thing I'm most happy about my business or excited about is I think I earned my fast track rewards like in the first 33 days of my business. So, I mean, it was fast forward. And it's been, just like ups and downs, it went really fast. But I've seen like, valleys and mountain peaks, a $5,000 month here. And then it's like a $1,200 month the next month. And it's like, I didn't do anything different. What happened? So just kind of staying, I know to me, it's kind of like the stock market. You can't look at the stock market every day. In the same way with Pampered Chef, you may have a mountaintop experience this month and next month may be a valley, but you just kind of hang in there. And I mean, I've done, whatever the incentive was every month, do $1,000 and get this, I've done that every month, but sometimes it's been real big and just always looking for ways to tweak what I'm doing, watching what other people are doing.
Okay.
And I think it's ever changing. What works today doesn't always work tomorrow.
Well, we have to be versatile, don't we? And I think that's something that we've learned. And it sounds to me like you would like to work on having a more consistent business, not
right.
Okay, good. And we're going to talk about that tonight. So good. Glad you're here. Hi, Lynn. Glad you could join us tonight.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
No, we're glad you're here. Right now, we're introducing ourselves, telling us a little bit about ourselves, how long we've been doing Pampered Chef and what we're most proud of. And since Lindsay was next on the call, we will have her go next.
Okay, I've been doing Pampered Chef since February, March, so not a full year yet. And I guess I'm most proud of like doing some of the videos that I've been doing. I really like doing that. I love to cook. So this was more of try to put my hobby to work for my family. So I guess I'm having fun at that part. Yeah.
I love that. I love how you, put your hobby to work for your family and working your business right alongside your family.
Trying. Yeah.
Oh, very good. Very good. And Gail Saya, we are glad you're here tonight too.
Oh, thank you.
So
what are we asking? Yeah, I missed it.
I will tell you. I will tell you. We are talking about how long you've been doing Pampered Chef and what you're most proud of. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I started Pampered Chef in 1999 of November, so my anniversary month's coming up in a couple of months, and it'll be 23 years. And I just kind of started to do something fun and not to really
And what's interesting, Gail and I have been together for 23 years almost. Yep. And as I get to know you all more and more, Gail and I have been through a lot of things together, and Gail has. And we could go off, and we probably need to revisit this because Gail has shared with us before how she has overcome so many challenges in her business and gotten to the place where she is today. And, I'm so proud of her, and it's just, and she's such an inspiration. And as we all get to know each other, you'll all learn inspiration from each other because we all go through life's challenges. And so thank you, Gail. Thanks for being here. And last but not least, Lynn.
I'm Lynn Mead. I next month will be 6 years for me with Pampered Chef. And I kind of just started it as a hobby, something to do. But a couple of years ago, I made the mindset to treat it more like a business. And things have worked out. I started booking more and having more parties, and had a couple people join under me that didn't do anything. So I still don't have anyone on my downline, but I'm working on that. And I'm just not giving up. If something doesn't work, I'm going to try something else and keep working that until that doesn't work anymore, and then try something else. The tips that Karen sends every day have been great. Some of them have worked for me, some of them have not, but I'm just going to keep trying what she sends and just keep working it.
Excellent. Well, I really appreciate your tenacity, Lynn. And it would be really hard. Again, we're talking about challenges. I mean, when you recruit people and they don't seem to stay, or, you kind of take it maybe personally, and you think that, you're not good at being leader, and none of that is true. And it's just a matter of keeping on and not giving up. So I really appreciate your tenacity. Hi, Nelda, glad you could join us tonight.
Thank you.
Hey, Nelda, we were just finishing up with the introduction, so you came in just at the right time. Tell us a little bit about you and why you started Pampered Chef and what you're most proud of.
I started in 2012. I've been with the Pampered Chef for 10 and a half years. I got inspired of starting it because I said, hey, I can sell over 300 in 1 month by myself by a book quarter. I guess I can continue doing this.
Very good. Very good. So with that, again, some of you don't know me. Some of you have heard my story before. Gail's heard it 1,000 times, but I'll just tell you a little bit about me. And I started doing Pampered Chef in 1992. And, I did not expect this to be a full-time job. I was a systems analyst for the city of Farmington Hills, had a great job. And I was making, 30 years ago, I was making $60,000 a year selling at my job, and plus all kinds of benefits. All kinds of benefits. And, having a government job, was always the kind of the cool thing to do. But I didn't think and quite frankly, I was age 30 when I graduated from college. So for me, that was kind of late. And I felt like I had worked all my life to get that degree. And I had no intention of ever, leaving that because, I mean, that's what I worked for. And I didn't grow up to be a party girl. I thought, well, for 3.5 years, I was doing Pampered Chef, and it grew really fast for me. And I was doing two live parties a week, as well as doing a 60 to 70 hour a week job. And I loved it. And if you've had a full-time job, I mean, well, and it's true with everything. Hey, Jennifer, glad you could join us tonight. You have good days and bad days, right? No matter what we do. But if I left my full-time job, having a really bad day, and being in the computer industry there, I was a systems analyst. I mean, there were a few days where I was there 24 hours, okay, doing installs and all that kind of thing. So I found that when I had to leave and go do my Pampered Chef party because I had a commitment, I forgot all that. I just loved being with the people. I loved sharing cooking tips and helping people. I've always felt that it's just as easy to be a good cook as it is a bad cook, and giving them tips about that. So I fell in love with the business. Before I knew it, I was working 2 full-time jobs, because really doing 16 shows a month or 8 live parties a month is really full-time with Pampered Chef. It's not always full-time hours, but, so really I was working 2, and then I saw a video, an 8-track video. Is it 8-track? No, it was a video. It was a VCR of Nancy Jo Ryan. Excuse me. And I saw her do a party, and I knew she was making over $100,000 a year. And I'm like, gosh, she does a good party. Nancy Jo is a fabulous cook, by the way. She does a good party, but she doesn't do that much better of a party than I mean. Why can't I make $100,000 a year? So it was then I thought, maybe I can always go back to computers. So 3.5 years into the business, I quit my full-time job, and then I became a full-time Pampered Chef person. Then I got divorced, and then I was self-supporting. And quite frankly, I've been self-supporting the whole time because my husband doesn't have to work. And he can take care of all the stuff we have, and we don't have to answer to anybody. We can come and go when we want. We can, it's just a really nice lifestyle. So that is a little bit about myself. Anything else I should share? Any questions? Okay.
How fast did you promote to advance up to executive director?
That's a good question.
You started doing full time.
Well, when I started when I first started, I did not care about being a director, because I thought if I became a director, they would put a lot of pressure on me. So it wasn't until I was with Pampered Chef a year before I even thought about being a director. Well, then I was a director at that time. 6 months was pretty fast to become a director, and then. So let me think about it. So that was 1.5 years in, then 3.5 years. When I quit my full-time job, I promoted to advanced director that April. And then by September, I was an exec.
Wow.
So it went fast. It went fast after that. And so good question, Gail. I've been an executive director a long time.
Yeah. I didn't want to be a director either. I did not want to be a director. I said, I don't need to tend to anybody else. I just want to do this for me.
And let's talk about that for a second. Gail, when you think about that, just think if you hadn't gone for that. Just think of the people you wouldn't have met. Think of the people you wouldn't have impacted.
I know, but I wasn't going to go for it. And I had a hospitality person, and she just kept encouraging it. Don't you want to do this? And I was like, no, not really. And she'd invite me to all these things, and I just went to them. I did everything. Every training was available. I did it. Every single thing that they did. And back then we didn't have this computer. We had to go to their houses. So I would drive 30 minutes across town, at least that far, and go to these meetings all the time. And she offered them to me. She was so nice. Her name was Cindy. She offered them to me because y'all were up in Michigan. So I didn't have anybody, locally to train me. And so she would invite me to all these meetings and I would go to every one of them. And I would do alongside of Helen, because this is a friend of mine who wasn't in my team, but she wasn't on your team, but she was doing the same thing I was doing. And so I'd say, you want to go? And we would go together. It was like my little buddy, and we'd go to these meetings. And the next thing I know, I did everything they told me to do. And the next thing I know, I had all these people, I was recruiting them. But the first 6 months I wasn't recruiting because I didn't want to. I was like, I'm not going to say a word. I'm going to keep my mouth shut and I'm not going to say a word. Well, then they started asking me, well, how do I do what you do? How do I do? And I was like, oh, really? I was like, what do I tell these people?
Yeah.
I don't want to tell these people what I'm doing because I don't need them. But you know what? That all changed when all of a sudden I became director and was like, well, here it is, and then I wasn't mad that I was director because I started making more money. And then I was having so much fun. So it all just kind of worked out for me. But I was a director within a year after I became a consultant. I was a director the next year. It didn't take me long.
If you decided, once you decided,
Yeah,
and so that's what, that's what happened, when I quit my full-time job, I decided to do a push year. And that's, and that's where, and so that's what I'm going to encourage you with, that things just don't happen. You have to make the decision of what your goal is, and then have the courage to go for it. So, to do a push here, you want to quickly promote, you want to maximize every contact, no matter how you meet them. You want to decide what you want, get serious, and realize that no one is holding you back but yourself. I made a decision to become proud of being the party girl, the Pampered Chef consultant, because we do have a wonderful message. We can change lives. And it's a ministry like any other ministry where we help people, we help make families get together. We make the family mealtime so important, and helping people get around the table. And that's why Doris started this business, but that's not to say there aren't tough days, because there are tough days. And, people will start with, they'll start their business with family and friends. They'll get their support, and then they run out of business, and then they quit. When right around the corner is that one call, that one person, or that one party that can propel them to success. So, friends, I think you understand that this is not a get-rich scheme. I think you understand that already. We don't have a store, we don't have overhead, which eliminates the middleman. And we've always been that way. I remember sitting across the table from my ex-husband thinking, starting to see the overrides come in. What happened was again, I had a great job. I felt I was making great money. I was happy with the money I was making. I was not doing Pampered Chef for the money. But all of a sudden my checks are like $1,000 a month. And I'm like, that's kind of serious money. I was spending it on Lagerburger till then, you don't know what Lagerburger baskets are. And I'm paying that price right now with 100 Lagerburger baskets I'm trying to get rid of, but I digress. But I told Dave, I said, I don't have to hire, I don't have to fire, I don't have to do any of that. I don't have to worry about FICA. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Pampered Chef takes care of that, and I make a little bit on what everybody sells. It just kind of made sense, and it just turned out to be a beautiful business. But think about our business today. Everything has gone virtual. No middleman, right? Have you ever thought about these virtual companies, how they're getting rich? Because they don't have overhead. I mean, look at who is it? Who drives the cars? I'm saying VRBO, but that's not who I mean. Uber, yes. And really VRBO too. They don't really have overhead. They don't have offices, or they didn't when they started. So that's why they're getting rich fast, but they don't employ, or have contractors like we are. So, but it's also not a fly-by-night business, right? After 30 years, I can tell you, I've never had to worry about my commission check. And when I've been consistent, intentional, and proactive, that's when it grew the fastest. So that's why I'm working with you all, just like you are, to go into a big growth spurt. So I'm hoping that is what you want as well. So what do you think about that so far? So far, so good?
Yeah, I like the consistent, intentional, and proactive.
It's exactly what it takes, and not giving up, you know. And I have to tell you, when I earned my $1 million in career sales, and Gail has already has earned hers too. Hi, Katrina. Good to see you tonight.
Good to see you too. Sorry, I'm late.
Glad you're here. When I earned my $1 million, everybody's going, how did you do it? How did you do it? Well, you know what? I just didn't quit, right, Gail? We just didn't quit. So
Be consistent. Be consistent. Yes.
yeah, just being consistent. All right. So what I really want you to do is to really plan for a solid September that will lead to a solid October. Now, I tell you what, I do not want you to live, eat, and drink Pampered Chef. All right. That is not what I'm asking at all. I'm asking you to learn the healthy habits that are going to help you be consistent with your business by working it a little bit every day. Some of the tasks, depending what the task is, it probably could take me twice as long to do it as Meg, because sometimes I make my work the hardest, but it is all dependent on each person. So I want you to understand that. And as you gain that experience, you're going to get better at it. You're going to get faster at it, and you're going to develop a system, which is what we're going to talk about. So I want you to plan for a solid September that's going to lead to a solid October, which will lead to a solid November. All right. Because we don't want to have that business that fluctuates up and down. And how we do that is we work in the beginning, we have to work on getting our bookings on the calendar. And Gail will tell you that, once you have your calendar strong, you're going to develop your bookings from the parties you have. And that's where we're going to help you with that. Okay. So think about what can happen in 3 weeks. What would you like to be able to say on September 30th that you accomplished this month? Anybody want to share what you would like to accomplish this month?
My October is fully booked.
Your October is fully booked?
No, that's what I would like to say.
Would like to say that on September 30th, right?
Yes, exactly. Very good, Lynn. Very good.
I agree with you totally, Lynn. That was what I was going to say.
Okay, that's a great goal. And I would be that proud of you like I just was. Okay. Who else? Who else would like to share what your goal is?
I didn't reach 10 people reaching out today, but I reached out to 8.
Okay.
And so far I've got 2 yeses. I don't have solid dates yet, but I've got 2 yeses, and I think 4 of them are maybes.
Okay. And so what would you like to be able to say on September 30th?
I did it.
You did it. You did what? I'm gonna make you be specific. What do you want? How many bookings?
I want 8.
Okay, excellent. Okay, one more person. Who else would like to share what you'd like to be able to say on September 30th?
I'll go.
All right.
Oh,
Nope,
You
go ahead.
can both go. You can both go. Go ahead, Meg.
I would like to say that I am getting another fat $1,200 paycheck.
Oh,
And that my October is booked with 6 to 8 bookings again.
awesome. Very good. Very good. And who else? Jennifer, did you want to go too?
Yeah, I would love to be able to say on September 30th that I had $1,000 in sales for September, and I earned some free product.
Okay.
Because the struggle is real right now. So that would be awesome for me to be able to say September 30th.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. All right. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to think about why you want this. Meg, why do you want that? Why do you want that to happen? I'll pick on you.
Because that gives me a feeling of having success in my business. That gives me the feeling that I'm on the right path for the growth that I'm wanting.
Okay. And so tell me then, how does it make you feel about the success in your business?
Makes me feel like I'm on the right track. I'm doing the right things.
Okay. And then how does it feel to be doing the right thing?
Amazing.
Why do you like to feel amazing?
Because anything else sucks.
When you feel amazing, are you proud of yourself?
Oh gosh, yes.
You have more energy. You're excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who
I
else
love,
is
like-
proud of you?
I
Who else
love
is-
running around the house, like telling my husband, I made the top 10 again.
Yeah, there you go. So how does it feel when your husband is proud of you?
Oh, it feels so good. He loves it. He loves knowing we got extra money coming in.
It takes the pressure off of him, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Yeah. It makes me feel good. Makes me feel like I'm accomplishing things. I
Awesome.
don't have to go work for the man. I can do this.
There we go. There we go. So really what I was doing there with Meg is I think it's really important, and it's a little intimidating right here to be in a group, but I really think you need to sit down and think about your why. And, and you might even go to December, you might even go to December to think about, but you want to do, your 30, 60, 90 day goals. But ask yourself why. And you need to go down 7 levels and really give it some thought as to what, why are you doing this? And I think about, is it because you don't want to be poor anymore? Is it you want to show your kids what success is? You don't need a man to provide for you. I always said I wanted to buy my own Mercedes, and I did. I mean, even as a kid, I wanted to buy my own Mercedes. That's just something that was important to me. And then to have a Mercedes that's paid off is also pretty good. So, so for me, it was like, I don't want to be poor anymore. I don't want to have to depend on anyone else. I'm a pretty independent girl. I want to be proud of my accomplishments. I want to be a national director because I want to achieve the pinnacle level that my company and what that represents. I want to feel the accomplishment of being among the best of the people I admire. I want to be independent and know that not only can I provide the basics for myself, I can create a lifestyle I dream of. So that's kind of what helps me get down to why I stay with Pampered Chef and what we've been able to accomplish. Okay, what I would like you to do is, this is going to be one of your assignments. I want you to think about your why, and I want you to post your number 7 in the RockStars on the Rise Facebook group, and I'll make sure that you're all in there if you're not already. And I want you to post your why, and I want you to add a photo or a GIF that supports that. Is that okay? Does that sound good?
What was the number 7? You said something about 7.
You're gonna ask yourself why 7 times.
Oh, 7 times.
Yes,
why. Okay.
yes, because
Not 1 time, but 7, like
exactly.
you just said. Okay,
Really
gotcha.
think about why. And a lot of times when you get to the 7th one, it's gonna might make you shed a tear or two. I want my family to be proud of me. I want to be able to provide something that we didn't have. I want to take, it could be, I want to take, my husband or my significant other on a trip that I provided, that I did, again, a lot of times it doesn't have to, it can be, the money that we earn with Pampered Chef provides us the lifestyle or the extras in life that maybe we didn't have, but also it also provides a level of satisfaction that you're helping people along the way. And that's what I think about Gail talking about being a director and all the people that she's been able to help along her way. And and I think about all of you. I mean, we think about, I don't know, we've got about 600 people on our team right now, and how I would not know any of them. It all started with one person. And, I want this satisfaction and this wonderfulness for you as well, if that's what you want. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the project Promote to Director. The director requirements, and I'm going to share my screen here for just a moment. And I'm going to, well, first of all, I'm going to, oh, here's, you know what, I've just decided that I have to get, I was with Marna a couple weeks ago and she's got 2 screens. Have you seen people where they have all those screens? And I'm like, I got to get another screen. So I'm not messing around. Okay. We don't just dream of winning. We train for it. That's what you guys are doing here. All right. RockStars on the rise. Again, the things you're going to learn, we're learning about how to enrich lives and how to enrich your life. There's nothing wrong with enriching your life. We're going to talk about team building. We're going to talk about strong business tips and growing. And we'll probably talk about all those things throughout every workshop. We won't just be concentrating on those things through the workshop. Now, the benefits of, and I'll post this in the group too, but overrides, products. Look at the necklace. We get the little spoon necklace. You're going to get product samples. I mean, have you noticed that directors were posting, you know, getting free product? You know, I know that, let me see, somebody was mentioning about getting the free products. Jennifer, you were mentioning about getting the free products. Can you imagine getting the whole fall line for free? When you promote to director, you get that. You are going to get that. That's the surprise that maybe you don't know. But when you promote to director, you're going to get a couple boxes of free product, along with $250 in Pampered Chef money. Exclusive training. We saw John Gordon in person in conference, which was amazing. Wasn't it, Gail?
Yes.
And you get bonuses. I mean, there really are. And again, there's tangible rewards, there's financial rewards, but the rewards of building a team and helping people do things they never thought they could do. I mean, Meg was talking earlier about how she just, you know, she's accomplished things she didn't know she had in her. And, you know, and that is just so exciting. So so that's a little bit about director benefits. Any comments or questions about that? Okay, so let's talk about the snapshot of how that has to happen. When you and your team, you have to do $750 in personal sales, which I don't think most of you have a problem with. And then you're going to need, you know, 4,250 from the rest of your team, because as a team, you need to do 5,000. You need 5 members doing at least $150 in sales that month. So in 1 month, you need to do at least 750, and quite frankly, it might be 4,250 from you, okay, which is okay. 5 people at least doing 150, and I'm going to help you see how to do that. And that's going to require about 10 to 15 parties from the group. And again, in the beginning, that may come mostly from you. Now, does all that make sense to everyone?
Mhm.
Okay. Again, it's a snapshot. Once you have done that, you are a director team. And in order to stay a director team, the team needs to do 5,000 in sales, 750 of which have to be yours. You don't have to have 5 or whatever, you know, at that time. All right. So now we talk most about a 500 show average, and that's that I'm going to say that's more of a virtual show average. I think the live show average is like, you know, 600 or 700 about now. But I want you to think about the averages, and you know, you need to be, this is a numbers business. You're going to want to pay attention to your numbers. But usually what I tell people, well, every director should plan to have at least 10 team shows on the calendar. And this is where you work with your team to find out what their goals are. You know, they've signed up to do Pampered Chef because they've got goals. Now, if they are, you know, being consistent and intentional about their goals, that's going to help the team, and then everybody reaches their goals, and then the team reaches their goals. Make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. You know, we don't do this on our own. We can do this on our own, but again, the beauty of the business is helping enrich other people and empowering them. So what you're going to do then is work. So when you promote your director, you're going to work to help develop your team so that all of the sales don't have to come from you. But at the same time, you want to keep the sales coming from you because you want to keep reaching out to meet new people. We're going to talk more about that in a second. Okay, let me see, where am I? So let's focus on getting new team members. You all notice that this month, the signing bonus, I call it a signing bonus. When someone signs up with Pampered Chef this month and they do $12.50 in their first month, they are going to get the new Brilliance cookware, right? Anyone know the value of that? It's about $320. It's a really nice value. Have any of you used the Brilliance cookware?
Love it.
Why do you love it?
It really is non-stick.
It really
It's
is.
amazing. Yes.
It's like slide off, isn't it?
It does. Yes. I am like, my husband used the frying pan. He's like, oh my gosh, it really is non-stick.
Well, so and that's, again, that's something to help share. That's it. And if you've got a piece, go live, show it, tell people that they can get it for free when they join our team this month. But it really is a huge incentive. So that way you're going to sign people up, and that what's going to happen is, again, here we are the last 3 weeks of September. And it's a last week and you're signing people up. And what I really like to do is work on sales the first 2 weeks of the month. And then I work on the recruiting the last 2 weeks of the month. So I'm going back to the parties that I've had and working on the recruiting. So when you recruit people, one of the things that you can do to get them to do $250 in a very quick time is to have them send out 10 messages and their shopping link and come up with $150 in sales. So again, I want you to know this can happen really fast, depending on if you're putting the pedal to the metal kind of a thing. So again, this is where systems come in and that are really important. You want to work hard to get yourself booked for the next 3 months. And I'm just going to give you a little visual here. I'll come back to the visual. But once you have either 16 parties a month virtual or 8 live parties, or again, combination of both, you're going to feel pretty proud of yourself, aren't you? I mean, how would it feel to have your schedule filled like that?
Awesome.
It would feel awesome, wouldn't it? I mean, and so what happens is success begets success. Now you're excited. Now you're feeling confident. Now you're feeling like I'm all that in a bag of chips, and you are. Okay. So, but the thing is that mindset is so important in our business. And you're not going to be having a binge business where it's up and down, because you are looking out to book every month. Okay. So, and we're going to talk more about that. You're going to impress people with your success. They're going to support you because you're taking your business seriously, and you're going to be taking yourself seriously. And I can't tell you how important that is. So you want to build a sustainable business. And I shared the booking document in the group. If you're not in the group yet, you probably haven't had a chance to look at it. Are any of you in the group and saw the booking document?
I don't know. I don't.
Okay. We'll share it with you. It's going to be part of your assignment. So, but what it is it's going to just really walk you through bookings. Okay. So I want you to think about what makes your party special. Why should someone book a party with you? What do you find in your parties that people are drawn to?
Personality.
Personality, yes. Any games, any prizes, any raffles?
Oh yeah.
Really, really important. Really, really important. What are some themes coming up for the rest of the year? This is a great time of year, isn't it?
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
fall, holidays, winter.
Halloween is kind of taken over as the second biggest decoration holiday next to Christmas. All right.
Crazy.
It is crazy. So find recipes that are creative and fun. Then I'm going to just share this with you. I'm going to go, I think I'm just going to, let me see. Are you seeing back to the director benefits?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to show this to you. This is a message that you can send out. Have any of you seen this Hocus Pocus charcuterie? Isn't
That
it
is
cute?
so cute.
Isn't it cute? Hey, Sally, I was just thinking about you and how much you love Halloween. Maybe I went past Sally's house and I saw her decorations. You know, I saw how cute your decorations are. What do you think about having a fun Halloween cooking party? We can show everyone how to make a really cute hocus pocus charcuterie. And I would add something like, I promise your friends will have fun. How about, who could say no to that?
Oh, yeah.
You know? And this is what I was talking about earlier. This is as simple. Okay, so to me, you guys, I look at this like a game. Anybody ever play bingo?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
You want to cover this with bingo things, you know, and bingo things are the dates. So it's just as simple as taking a piece of paper and filling this out. All right. Do any of you do this? Do you make your schedule up like this?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It can just be a simple piece of paper and a spiral notebook. It doesn't have to be fancy. Okay.
I do it in my calendar.
And your calendar, perfect. That's really good. I actually do it in my calendar too, but I just, you know, but anyway, so you really just need to look at that. Now, when you start sharing booking messages about, you know, we're going to start with Halloween because you always want to book close, right? You exhaust your week, your first availability until they say no and just say, okay, well, this work, you know. All right, so let me go back to where I was here. So I want you to think about finding recipes that are creative and fun. Think of a quick intro sentence to drive people to the experience you are going to provide, like I just mentioned. Okay, so now what we're going to talk about is RockStar and RSVP. Who knows what a RockStar is?
Someone who interacts a lot in your party,
Okay,
comments a lot.
do they have to do it a lot?
At all, I guess.
That's one of the points I really want to make. That's
In some
message.
parties, at all.
Yeah, they've got they show blood pulse, right?
Yeah.
You know, but in fact, they don't even have to have a pulse. So we're going to talk about that too. What I need you to think about is that every single guest in your party needs to have a message. No one gets out of the party without a message. This is where you'll make your 30 contacts a day. All right. I want you to think about that your host has invited people to this party and she is sharing her Rolodex. Who knows what a Rolodex is? Am I showing
yeah.
you? Yeah. That's your Rolodex. Those are all connections that you can make with people. And if some people are falling through the cracks, we're finding that the people who join the party and don't purchase anything and maybe don't comment are actually the people who are booking.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the more parties you have, the more contacts you have, which is really important. Figure out the cadence for your party. By cadence, I mean, you know what your routine is. This is where you're going to set up your system, and your system is going to be different like everybody else's. Some of you I know are using Project Broadcast. You have a system for your customer care, you know, thanking them within 2 days for their party, touching base with them in 2 weeks, touching base with them in 2 months. And it is just, you know, something that's routine. Really, really important. So that cadence. What you want to remember is that on day 2, you need to be connecting with these people. All right. So go in and welcome every guest. Start doing prizes in the beginning of the party. Create opportunities for people to be rock stars by asking questions like, I always like to ask the question, on a scale of 1 to 10, do you like to cook? And posting engagements and games, and pay attention. There are a few posts where you really want to pay attention. And I've started doing a daily prize post. And in my daily prize post, if you've done mega parties with me, it might be, what would you think about taking a trip with your significant other? Or that kind of thing. You know, what would you do with an extra $500 a month? So you know when you post that, whether, you know, that people are going to be answering or commenting or liking, and you're going to reach out to all of them. So again, create the opportunity. And the minute they comment, if they only comment once, they become a rock star. Okay. Now the cookbook, the e-cookbooks work. That's really important for you to understand. The new Meals in a Minute one is great, and it is timely for today. So, there's lots of e-cookbooks out there. I love to kind of shake them up, and I try to go into a routine, so I'm not giving, some people the same cookbook all the time. But that's really important. Sincerely compliment people in your party. If they post a product, or the world can fall apart because they have posted something. That is just a huge deal. And now I just want you to notice too that as Facebook seems to be loosening up on the non-friends messages. I don't know if you've noticed. The first message is often hidden. The second message might go through, and the third message usually goes through. So Facebook seems to be, loosening up on that. Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One thing I want to remind you is that not everybody uses Facebook like we do. And I'm going to tell you, one of the biggest secrets in our business is this, is not to stifle yourself or your business by your own filters. Does anyone know what I mean by that? It's another way of saying don't prejudge. For instance, I don't care for our Jamaican jerk seasoning. I just don't. It's not one of my favorites. Lots of people I sell it to love it. So why wouldn't I talk about it? All right. And that's just an analogy for everything in our business. When I first started with Pampered, I'm not a mom. I don't identify with being a mom. I don't understand. I can empathize. I can understand what you guys go through, but I'm not a mom. So I can't pretend that I'm not a mom. I'm going to attract people like me, and you're going to attract people like you. The trick is attracting people that are not like you. All right. So that's really important about prejudging. So again, people don't use Facebook like we do, so don't assume that they do. All right. People might check their Facebook every 2 days if they're lucky. They might not. So that's why it's really important for the follow-up. So try little tricks like drawings, early bird drawing, fun day Monday or Monday fun day, wacky Wednesday, freaky Friday, and an e-cookbook with an upgrade of your choice when you host a party. And surprise Gail. Would you like to surprise Gail by booking a party from her? And when she has 3, she's going to get a $50 bonus, that kind of thing. She only needs one more, even if she has no bookings, she only needs one more to get that bonus, okay?
And they help them. They help
They
them.
help
I
them.
want to help her. How many
They
of my
do.
hosts have said, I want to help them. I want to
There
help
you
her. I
go.
love her. She's
Yeah.
my favorite person. I want to help her.
Mhm.
And I go, oh, this is the way you can help her.
Right. All
And
right.
even
So
when they don't book, when they don't buy anything, they feel like, oh, I let her down because I didn't buy anything. This is how you can help her.
yeah, well, a lot of times, and they don't want to say no twice. They really don't want to say no twice. When people, so again, create that list of when you want to book your parties. And when people say they're not interested, I know that Sharon Zellen does this all the time. She'll say, listen, would you mind me asking why? Would you mind answering me? I care about my business and I'm trying to grow my business, and I would really like to know why. You can word that however you want. But the thing about it is, and when someone is honest with you, they say, thanks for getting back to me. If you don't mind me asking, what is your hesitation? Okay. If now is not a good time, how about a holiday party? I am booking into the holidays, what do you care? I know that the pushy word comes up, and believe me, we don't want anybody to be pushy. But I also want you to remember that being timid is just as bad as being pushy. And there's a happy medium in there somewhere. But even if you're being pushy, even if they think you're being pushy, or you're worried about them thinking you're being pushy, because you're probably not, because pushy people never think they're pushy, right? You probably never see these people again. And let me tell you, I'm going to tell you right now that for the first, 25 years of my business, it was all face to face. I had to look him in the eye and hear a rejection. Now it's just virtual, right? No big deal. NBD. Okay.
Or on the phone.
Huh?
I said, or on the phone.
Yeah, or on the phone, right?
That's how we had to contact them, by the
Yeah,
phone.
that's right. That's right. Okay. So again, we're going to talk about being in this push moment. It's the perfect time to do it. You're going to start talking to 30 people a day. And again, your contacts in your parties, past parties, current parties, go back to your old Facebook parties. Offer a prize. Offer a prize. If you've got old season's best catalog, old season's best cookbooks laying around, you just might throw them in the mail. Okay, they're not doing you good sitting in your closet. Have you exhausted your Facebook list? How many people are you friends with? Divide that by 30. That's how many days you've got of reach outs to do. Talk about being here. I'm a blast from the past or a voice from the past. The perfect time is because we have a new catalog out. This is the perfect time to reach every one of your past customers, your list of 100, your Frank's list, everybody. Everybody deserves the chance for a new catalog, whether it's in the mail or it's live. Let me think. I want you to remember too that the first 2 days of your party are going to determine the algorithm for that group. So when you get that party going fast in the first 2 days, you're going to see an improvement of your dead parties. That's a really great tip I learned. So, again, be real proactive in those first couple of days when the party starts. And make sure to tell your host that it's not unusual for orders to come in the last days of the party. Okay, let them know that that's normal and that they still need to keep the enthusiasm.
Momentum.
Yeah. Let's see. Don't forget to count down the days in your party. Change the banner. And then follow up with people saying, hey, I know you're crazy busy, but Sally's party is coming to an end. Here's a shopping list so that you can support her. And again, like I mentioned before, many people will not say no twice. So I'm going to be sharing a great video on how to fill your calendar. The delivery might be a little bit tough, but the content is helpful. Really helpful. And it actually helped me put a lot of this together tonight. But people who have a system get 15 to 20 bookings a week. Solid bookings lead to a solid business, and you can feel good about that and proud of it. When you don't have a full calendar, it's hard to recruit. All right. Subliminally, we're thinking scarcity. We don't want to recruit. We're afraid to give our parties away, right? But when we have a lot, when it's plentiful, when we're booked for 3 months, all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, would you please help me? There's so much business out there, and you guys, there is business out there. And if you're not going after it, somebody else is, I promise you. So when your bookings and your sales are streamlined, you're going to be looking for new team members. So comment, host, coach, work with your RSVPs, the people that RSVP in the party, and your rock stars. So what I'd like you to do is to think about, do a brain dump, look at your party's cadence and the schedule and see what has to be done each day. Break those tasks down and into daily tasks. And that way you don't have to think about it. You go, oh, okay, I gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, until it becomes rote, all right? It will become second nature to you, but you have to determine that cadence and that task list first. Think about when do you set up your parties? When do you invite your host? When, do you do your engagement days, that kind of thing. And then, when do you post about, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you like to cook? You want to know when to engage with those people. When you have a daily list, you can take it off your mind. I don't know about you. Are any of you like list makers? You're like, I want to check it off. I want to check it off. I want to check it off, and you'll find that will really help you a lot. So you have an assignment. Post your number 7 in the rocks, and I'll post this in the group too. Post your number 7 why in the RockStars group with your GIF or a photo. Listen to the bookings boot camp with Kelly and Alicia. And I think it's going to take you about an hour. Okay, I forgot to check the exact time on that, but it will be well worth your time. And then work to get 16 bookings this month. And then start working in October. And then every time you get a booking, post a GIF in the RockStars or the Rise Facebook page. Can you do all those things?
Oh, yeah.
No? Lindsay, what do you not feel confident about?
I'm just doing this very part-time right now as a
Okay.
stay-at-home mom of 3 young kids. So it's just a matter of finding time. So I'm sitting here thinking, maybe if I get up at 4:30, I can work for an hour before the baby wakes up. So it's just a matter of
Yes.
plugging in the time in my
Exactly.
day.
Yeah. And sometimes we talk about that, where especially for people with young children, putting into blocks of time, nap time, and that kind of thing. But again, once you start getting your cadence and you get that routine, you're gonna find it kind of falls into place. It'll be perfect for you. But just do the best you can. Remember, we're doing one thing better today than we did yesterday. Yep. Okay. Any comments, questions before? Wow, it's 9 o'clock exactly.
Are you going to post our homework assignment in
I'm
the
going to post.
Facebook
Yeah,
group?
I want to make sure you're all in the group first, and I
Okay.
may have to. I'm not sure I can add you. I might have to send you the link and have you join.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll post all that.
Are
And
we already in there, Karen, or not? don't know.
I am not sure who's in there right now or not. So I'll look. Okay. And again, again, this is a group you're going to want to pay attention to. So you might need to bookmark it, and check it, and be encouraging to everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If there's anything I can do, if you need any time with me, just let me know. I'll be happy to set up some time with you. But I want to, be a cheerleader and a resource for you as we all do this. I'm doing this right with you. I want 16 shows on my calendar this month too. And, Lynn and I've talked to Lynn and I tomorrow. We have our Streamline course at 1 o'clock with Miriam, who does 8 shows every other week. So that
Wow.
routine is really pretty interesting. And, but you have to do what works for you. Okay. Thanks for joining me, and I will talk to you soon.
Thank you, Karen.
Thanks,
It's
Karen.
nice to meet you, Lindsay.
Good night.
Good night.